All right, everyone. Here we are with ticker symbol TSLA, Tesla Inc. Before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all my first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to my channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all my subscribers, welcome back, and let's jump into this chart. So, I've talked about the bullish run that we just recently saw, right? But I also want to talk about 538. And the reason why I keep going back to this is because this is one of the most important numbers for all the first-time viewers. Um, I apologize to my subscribers for having to repeat this, but I want no one, a single investor or viewer, to miss out on this information. This is super important to keep it in mind and pay close attention to these numbers and write them down. So I want to apologize in advance to all my subscribers. I want to go ahead and say, man, I got to hear this again. I apologize, but remember, we're a community here, and there might be somebody coming across this for the first time, and they need to receive this information. So 538 is the most important number. I know it says 37. I like to round it down. 538, just to keep it simple, is super important. It's the highest valuation before the split, and after the split that this stock has ever reached. So that is the highest valuation that the stock reached, and that's the highest point that the bulls have reached. The bulls need to break through that to hit new resistance levels and new levels of highs, right? So I want you guys to write that down. That's a good number to have to look at as a reference for the next couple of weeks, months, or even year. I don't know which direction Tesla is going in. I know it's a very volatile stock, but who knows what could happen. So that's just a good number to have long term. Whether it turns into a short term number that gets broken through or long term, it's a number that's very important right now based off the charts. The lowest point that the stock reached after the split, which is super important right now in the short term and the long term, is 308. That is the support level that is super important because if that gets broken through, this stock will start to see newer lows and move further away from the 50-day moving average and break through new support levels. So super important to have that number written down as well. So that's a very broad way to look at the chart, just to know what are the lowest points and the highest points and where we're at right now. But 308 is an important number to keep in mind, and that's what the bulls don't want to be broken through, because this will start to see newer lows if 308 does get broken through. Now, we leveled off and closed out at 372.48. It broke through support. It went further down from the 50-day moving average and reached newer lows. So we're going to go ahead and see here what are the most important numbers here for tomorrow. So Tesla, every single time it dipped, the bulls reappeared and tried to level off. They did their best to level this off, and then the bears reappeared. They leveled it off, and the bears reappeared. The bulls have leveled it off here. The question is, are the bears going to reappear tomorrow and continue to tear this one down? So this is the highest point before reaching these new lows, and it's the last point of leveling off before it started to drop again. So that's very important for us. That's the first resistance level that needs to be broken through. And then the next one would be up here at 413.81. But that's not as important right now because there's some other points that are more important than breaking through that resistance level right now. So the first thing is the 50-day moving average. 50-day moving average is 408.90. If I can land exactly on that number, but it keeps jumping. It's 408.90. That needs to be broken through for the bulls to start to gain possession again. They need to turn it into a support and then start to work their way up to new resistance levels and new levels of highs. Now, by breaking through those resistance levels, they need to turn them into supports. So the first point before getting to 408.90 is breaking through the resistance level way down here. But the 50-day moving average is important because it lets us know where the bulls are and where the bears are. The bears are below it. The bulls are above it. Right now, who has the possession? Well, the bears do. And if the bears continue to bring this one down, they will start to gain more leverage and gain full control over the stock. But before getting into that topic, the bulls. The bulls need to break through the first resistance level, and that's 394.20. Once the bulls break through 394.20 and turn that into a support, they can start to work their way up to newer highs. Just because they broke through this support, this resistance level, and they turned it into a support, it does not signify that the bulls have gained control or that they're having a rally. This just lets us know the direction of where this stock is going. It gives us a sense of direction. It's getting closer to the 50-day moving average in an upward direction. Now, 394.20 is super important for the bulls to turn into support so they can start to work their way up to newer highs. And then we get to the topic of the 50-day moving average needs to be crossed by the bulls, which is 408.90, so they can get into bullish territory and reach new resistance levels and newer highs. Now, on the other hand, as I was stating earlier, the bears. If the bears continue to bring this down, they're going to try to pull this further away from the 50-day moving average in a downward direction. And the bears are going to want to break through support, and that is 365.94. If 365.94 gets broken through, I want to emphasize how important it is to keep an eye on the stock and see what's going on, because if it breaks through 365.94, this will test newer lows and new support levels. The bulls are going to have to come in hefty and strong from down here to bring this one back up. And as we saw, the bears are tearing this one down. They're pulling it away from the 50-day moving average. And if they break through this support level, they will do their best to start to reach newer lows and new support levels. So I want to emphasize how important it is to keep an eye on the behavior of the stock. Turn on your 1 minute, 5 minute, 15-minute charts and see how many more red candlesticks or how many more green candlesticks and who's dominating the inflow, the outflow of what's going on in those moments. Because if it breaks through 365.94 and it's just hanging out, you're going to want to look for if the bulls are trying to reappear and bring this up, or are the bears tearing this one down and moving quickly to newer lows further away from that support and pulling it further away from the 50-day moving average in a downward direction. As always, if you feel encouraged or inclined to subscribe and you found this video helpful and informative, please do so. But don't forget to click on the bell so that you guys don't miss a single video that I post by turning on all notifications, and you guys will be up to date on every single chart analysis. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button and let me know you watched this video. At the end of this video, there's going to be a pop-up video, and I highly encourage any of my subscribers, viewers, or investors that haven't already seen it and haven't had a chance to go ahead and click on the video that's about to pop up. It's very informative and helpful. It talks about a strategy that I've been using to make 30 cents to $2, $3 per share on certain ticker symbols in the S&P 500 that are American-based companies benefiting from the Federal Reserve pumps. I go into more detail about it in the video. Definitely check it out. I'm not here to tell you guys to buy, sell, or hold. I'm just here to enlighten you guys on some great information that many investors are overlooking. And if they already know about it, they're just not too sure about it. And the charts speak for themselves, and you can clearly see it. And even if you guys aren't ready right now for it, you guys can actually monitor and see what goes on next week when I do my next video. I've been doing a weekly video on this series, right? So that everybody can go ahead and maximize profits, minimize losses, and I'm just here to help and inform you guys and enlighten you guys on some great news where even when the market is falling, we can all make some gains. I know 30 cents doesn't sound like a lot per share or $2 per share, but gains are gains. So definitely click on the video. If it hasn't already popped up, it should be popping up soon. Click on it, and I hope you guys find that video helpful and informative. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.